Okay. um, Sorry. Uh,
Are we starting?
yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Go Green Campaign webinar 4.0. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sri, Secretary of the ICAP Committee on Youth Cooperation, or we call it as ICYC. Before we start the webinar, I would like to inform you that we'll be recording the webinar and we are also live on ICAP YouTube channel. I'll share the link. I will request everyone to please be on mute when speakers are giving their presentation. If you have any questions for the speaker, you can post it on the chat box. As a secretary of the committee, I'm very happy to inform you that we are celebrating the 4th edition of the Go Green campaign with the theme Only One Earth. And this year we are collaborating with ANKASA, the Malaysian National Cooperative Movement, ICAP Committee on Consumer, and ICAP Committee on Forestry. Thank you for your support and cooperation. Now I would like to invite Mr. Alireza, Chairperson of the ICYC and the moderator of today's webinar. Mr. Reza, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sri. I hope I'm audible enough for all the participants. So it's a great opportunity and honor for all of us at the ICYC to have very good supporters and very good partners at this version of the Go Green campaign, which is one of the most important campaigns for the Asia Pacific. The creator of the Go Green campaign, or as we call it, GGC, is actually one of the speakers today, which I will be introducing later on. But before that, I think it is time to appreciate the support from the Forestry Committee, the Consumer Committee, and of course, ANKASA, who have helped and supported this idea of this cooperation and brought the ICYC to a new level of activity where different committees and organizations, they will be announcing about their activities themselves, but I think they all have unique experience so far, and this is a very important moment for the ICYC to have this cooperation. I don't want to be the speaker, as I'm only the moderator. So I will go briefly with the introduction of our first speaker, who is the regional director of the ICA in Asia Pacific. And he has been the regional director since 2014. Mr. Balu Iyer has over 25 years of experience in managing international development operations and overseeing multiple country offices, including experiences of building new offices from the ground up. Mr. Iyer worked in India in cooperative development before moving abroad to work on Asian regional concerns for overseas agencies, and in particular in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Korea, Mongolia, Nepal, Pakistan, the Philippines, and of course, Sri Lanka. He has worked with the Aga Khan Rural Support Program, ActionAid India, International Development Exchange and Asia Foundation, and so many other organizations. He was born in India and educated in India and the United States, receiving a degree in civil engineering from the National Institute of Technology at Durgapur, a postgraduate diploma in rural management from the Institute of Rural Management at Anand in India, which we call IRMA, and master's in public policy from the Goldman School of Public Policy at UC Berkeley. We will have the opportunity to hear about his comment and speech via a video message which will be played by our secretary of the committee.
edition of the Go Green campaign.
Is it audible?
Yes, I can hear it.
Good afternoon. I am delighted to be joining you for the launch of the 4th edition of the Go Green campaign. What started in 2018 as a small initiative by our key speaker, Ahsan Ali Thakur, to encourage youth to plant trees has now been institutionalized as a yearly program. I congratulate Ahsan, the current chair Ali Reza Banefar, and the ICAP Committee on Youth Cooperation for making this a key part of the Youth Committee activities. I am pleased that this year ICYC is joined by ANKASA, the Malaysian National Cooperative Movement, ICAP Committee on Consumer, and ICAP Committee on Forestry to celebrate the 4th edition of Go Green campaign. The theme, Only One Earth, was the slogan for the 1972 Stockholm Conference. 50 years later, this truth still holds. This planet Earth is our only home. 10,000 years ago, 57% of the world's inhabitable land, or 6 million hectares, was covered by forest. Today, only 4 billion hectares are left. The world has lost 1/3 of its forest, an area twice the size of the United States of America. What is glaring is that in just over 100 years, the world lost as much forest as it had in the previous 9,000 years. Tree plantation is seen as one of the ways to offset loss of forest cover and address climate change, as trees store carbon, help provide clean air, prevent soil erosion, shade and shelter homes, to reduce energy costs, and give people a sense of well-being. We must definitely plant more trees, and in this regard, Go Green campaign is fulfilling an important need. At the same time, we need to be thoughtful in the way we go ahead with planting of trees. Too much focus on number of seedlings planted and too little time spent on how we keep the trees alive in the long term is something we need to consider. Not enough emphasis on how different types of forests sequester very different amounts of carbon need to be considered. Too much talk about trees and not enough about other carbon storing ecosystems. Addressing global challenges requires us to work in collaboration and cooperation. Planting trees, while local, can have a global impact, but this alone is not sufficient. We need to also educate how we consume, and here I see the consumer committee playing an important part, how we involve youth as they are going to inherit a fractured earth, which is what the Go Green campaign is doing. Design, not just plant trees, but consider which types, where, how, and how we care. And innovate ways in which we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. Therefore, I am pleased the ICYC has tied the Go Green campaign to ICA Principle 7, Concern for the Community, and the UN Sustainable Development Goal 13 on climate action, and in the process address the points I mentioned earlier. Involving youth in the campaign is very important, as they are the ones seeing the destruction happening around them and will be inheriting this fractured planet. Youth and cooperatives can play an important part in protecting, conserving, and sustaining the environment. I wish the 4th edition of Go Green campaign the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri, for playing the video of the comments and introductory speech by the regional director of the ICAP. That was very good. I mean, connecting the dots between the ICYC, the youth committee, consumer, forestry, and the organization as Angasa. Connecting these four are very important, and thank you, Mr. Balu Ayer, to provide us with this connection. So without further ado, let me go to our former chairperson of the Youth Committee in Asia Pacific, who was the creator and who was the founder of this campaign. And his name is Ahsan Ali Thakur. And as Mr. Ayer mentioned, he created this idea with like just an idea. Then he continued and he tried to have different support from different regions. And now that we are here, I think the campaign owes a lot of this victory to Mr. Ahsan Ali Thakur. So he has been working in the cooperatives since 2007 as a representative with Karachi Cooperative Housing Society Union. He has participated in international conferences on various topics related on cooperatives as youth representative of Pakistan on International Cooperative Alliance, or as we call it, ICA. He has also worked with STEP, which is an NGO, as a facilitator, trainer, and event organizer for British Council Active Citizenship Program. He has conducted various training sessions on introduction to cooperative. He has taken keen interest in volunteering services and has trained the students of COMSAT's Institute of Information Technology in Islamabad campus. Mr. Ahsan Ali Thakur, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Ali Raza, and thank you everyone. Especially, I like to thank the ICYC for inviting me as a guest speaker. It's been a pleasure serving in the ICYC, and I always appreciate the youth's formula for the energy, the enthusiasm, and the work that they put in. Right now, as of this moment, we are experiencing a lot of heat waves, climate change, weather catastrophe, and so on and so forth. The other part of the cooperative sector is we are not focusing enough on the green side or the green parameters of the environment that we live in. And the third one that I think is the most important, that youth are the future. They need to cater to, they are going to hold the mantle for the future. So why not train them as of this moment? So these are the three factors that helped me to create the jumble for the campaign that is called the Go Green campaign. It all began with a simple question: how is cooperative related to the youth and the SDG 13? This question basically led me to creation of the Go Green itself. When I say creation of the Go Green, I mean the people that worked with me in creating the Go Green itself. So even though if I initiated it, but it was never about it was all about us, the ICYC, that formulated this formal structure that has been institutionalized as of this moment, and I'm very proud of it. So the concept is how. The other question I would cater to was, how is it possible for the youth to be connected to the cooperatives? Because a lot of people, a lot of youth are asking, does it pay off in the future? And people are like, is it possible to answer that question as of this point without the youth not understanding about the cooperatives? So these are a lot of questions that were coming up and building a compilation of youth. Are we supposed to go in the cooperative direction where there is no financial aid to it? But still, to answer that question and the previous question, that how cooperative, youth, and SDGs are connected, planting a tree is the simplest of the simple activity. It has been done for thousands of years in the human history, for agriculture purpose, for development, for providing the food, for creating a certain amount of shade, for creating wood for the furniture. So it is a human nature to plant trees. So why not utilize that information and show the youth that when you plant tree, you make things better. But that's not enough. That's not just a cooperative. We also wanted people to create themselves a business, or at least work on the model for green jobs in the future. So that's the second part that is supposed to be rolled in the Go Green campaign. Now, the third one is to establish an institution that totally works with the youth and provides either green jobs or work with the business that provides or services for the greening of the whole globe. So that's how the Go Green itself is induced. It has three phases. The first phase is awareness, which I already started. We are still having the awareness. We are going through the awareness phase, and it's almost at the end of it. The second phase would be, how do we talk to institutions that it can be incorporated in either educational purposes or developing the economy around it to at least sustain a few institutions for or responsible for plantation of trees as well as earning from it. It's not just plantation of trees, it's about conservation of energy. It's about decreasing the wastage. It's about uh, intolerating the trash that we are literally littering around our streets. So it's all that, and try to minimize and optimize the greening value of it. So that's the second phase. The third phase is making established institution that totally works on green jobs either, or provide green energy, or provide certain amount of benefits that is related to the overall cooperative business aspects of it. So at the end of this first phase, and I'm happy to report in my term, I already observed, especially in the COVID period, that a lot of people in their houses try to establish small gardening, and they, due to the restrictions by the governments that you cannot leave the house on in that parameters to avoid any contact. So what the neighbors in our community did was they started sharing their homegrown vegetables with the neighbors. It did not cross the boundaries or the rules of the government, but it also created harmony in the community for sharing of vegetables in times of people that who cannot leave their houses unnecessarily, or the shops are closed for the COVID terms. So that induced that effect as an overall. Second case study that I like to present that happened in Africa. One of the participants from the African region reported that they were awarded a project, and these people are cooperative-based organization that provides services for construction. So they were awarded a project by the government for reconstruction or redevelopment of a national park. So it all began from the Go Green. From the Go Green, when they participated in it, they formulated a network which led to their projects. So it is somehow, somewhere connecting dots for the businesses to meet up, to induce themselves, to create a greener effect. And again, this is not just about planting trees. This is about planting a philosophy in the minds of the youth that with plantation of trees, you can also move or look in the direction for creating a bigger business, a greener environment, and a better educated community. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, you can contact me on my Facebook, or leave a message, or share your email address, and I'll happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, Hasan Ali. And it was very good that you mentioned and highlighted very important points. I personally like the idea with the green jobs, that all the activities that we are doing all together with the help of other committees and organizations, at the end, it should lead to a very concrete activity, which green jobs are very important for the future, because the jobs created with the idea, with the mentality of protecting the environment, will definitely have its effect on the future. Thank you so much for your time and also the information that you provide. I'm sure the audience will benefit a lot from this information. The next speaker is actually a very newly elected president of the Global Youth Network. Sorry. So I will be introducing the president, the newly elected president of the Youth Network. Her name is Ana Aguirre, and she's originally from the Basque Country in northern Spain, and is the co-founder and worker owner at Tazebais. ESCOOP, an innovation group that focuses its activity in the creation and learning and training ecosystems for companies and education systems, which they're known as traveling university. Visual communication, make it visual, and participates in various companies in emerging sectors. In Tazebais, Ana leads the cooperative development line and is a member of the innovation consultancy team. Since 2020, she is the COO of Platform Cooperatives Now, which is a part of the Mondragon University and New School. And she was one of the 12 participants at the Harvard Research Sprint on data cooperatives. Ms. Aguirre currently serves as the Vice President for Europe in ICA Youth Committee, and she has been recently elected as the President of the ICA Youth Committee. And I will ask the Secretary of the Committee to play the video message from Ms. Aguirre.
Hello everyone, I hope you're good. Thank you for having me. I am Ana Aguirre. I was not so long ago chosen as Youth Rep and Global Youth President of the ICA Youth Network. So I am super happy to be with you. Thank you, Shri and Alireza, for making it happen, and all of you for inviting me. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you today live. But I had a schedule conflict and I needed to be teaching a class, so I needed to be away. But we made it happen for me to be with you today. As you know, I have been in the youth committee for a while now, and since 2018, I've been part of this following up of the Go Green campaign, so congratulations on the 4.0. For me, it was a super interesting campaign since the beginning, where engaging with youth and planting trees, that it's something that the community will would benefit from, not only the people who plant them. So congratulations for engaging with youth, for engaging the community, to being true to yourselves, to your values, and to actually contributing to a better world. I think youth in this campaign is an example of how can we be solidarity oriented, because as one proverb says, that society, people that plant trees are not the ones are solitary, because they may not sit in the shade, but they know that their town and their, the next people will be the ones sitting in the shade of that tree that they planted today. So I think it shows really well how the cooperative movement works and how what the cooperative values stand for. So congratulations of being those people leading the movement. I think that, and congratulations, of course, to the ACA, Asia Pacific and the youth, and ANCASA for this very specific event and very specific campaign. As you know, the next generations especially next generations for me as well, are probably the most engaged generations with climate change. Are the ones that are coming with the most concern, more engaged levels. So I'm actually very happy to see that youth is the one that is leading these kind of activities and examples, and to actually show the people that we can do something to stop climate change. While we were in Seoul and we were discussing what concerns youth the most, I think climate change was one of those things that all of us agreed upon, that yes, it was very talked about, but it was very engaging. And for me, I was even more surprised when I sat at a political debate not so long ago, and someone told me that my age, that they had climate anxiety. So I think it's becoming something very high in the agenda of youth, and people are very concerned about. And not only in a non-tangible way, they're starting to be concerned in a very tangible way, right? Because it's going to define or redefine in a way how our businesses, our cooperatives work. But not only that, when we were in Seoul, we talked about how it's going to change our lifestyles. What is it that is going to change? We're seeing fires, we're seeing super crazy weather, we're seeing like crazy things happening in species, how it's influencing also the climate, the environment, the animals, the people. It's going to change the way cities are created, it's going to and built and developed. It's going to change migration forms, not only for animals, but also for people. And we're going to see huge amounts of climate refugees as we follow this way. And all of this is going to shape society as we know it. So I think that we need to be very aware that campaigns like this, that may be one of the keys to change, and one of the keys to maybe not swipe the whole way of the movement of climate, but it is going to improve the situation for all of us. So I am extremely proud to have youth leading this movement. I think that I always say that youth are the present and not only the future, and actions like these that are tangible, that are real, that can be shown for, are the ones that show what is the impact of youth in society and in the cooperative movement. So congratulations. I am truly, truly proud to be able to sit with you for these couple minutes today. And you know, it's only one Earth, so we all thank you. Bye, have a tremendous day.
Thank you so much, Anna. Of course, she had a very, very busy schedule, and we couldn't have her live on this webinar. So she was kind enough to send us the video message on the last minute, and we heard about her comment about the Go Green campaign, and she's a very devoted person to the youth and youth-related matters and subjects. So I will be starting with the introduction about the one of the speakers who is from Korea, and she has been doing a wonderful job in her activities regarding the SDG 13 and also the activities that she and also her cooperative has been doing in the consumer cooperatives. Her name is Juhi Lee, and she has been working in the movement of consumer cooperatives since 2010. Currently, she is the team leader of international relations in the Cooperative Institute of ICOOP, the Federation of Consumer Cooperatives in Korea. She has led projects related to international relations of ICOOP, to expand the network and promote the co-op identities with other co-ops and SSEs. She is also active in managing education programs for ICOOP members to empower members and foster leadership. ICOOP is the federation of 100 consumer cooperatives in Korea. It provides eco-friendly and organic products to consumer members in collaboration with farmers co-op. ICOOP operates 2 natural dream parks, the complex clusters that include accommodation facilities, restaurants, movie theaters, and experience facilities, as well as factories that process eco-friendly food products. That was a very brief introduction about the next speaker, Juhi Lee. And by now, I will be asking Juhi to give the audience the information that she and her cooperative has been doing in different areas of activities. And Juhi Lee, the floor is yours. And before Juhi Lee starts, I will be informing all the participants and the audience that we will have a 10-minute of break. And this break can be used as a networking session, or if anyone has any kind of experience in their cooperative or in their city or in their country about the activities that they have done so far about the protecting the environment. So before the break, let's hear about Juhi Lee and her activities.
Thank you. I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you. Okay. I'm very happy to share our cases and the activities for this workshop. As introduced, my name is Juhi Lee, and then I like to talk about the activities of consumer members in Korea. So before starting introducing our the cases, I'd like to introduce briefly about the ICOP. So as introduced, ICOP it started as from 6 small cooperatives, and these cooperatives set up this federation called ICOP to have a bigger business and in 30 years ago. So now we have 100 member co-ops, and we are running 253 stores, and about 4,000 employees work for ICOP. So our main business is to carry eco-friendly and organic food. So there is the background of the consumer corporate movement in Korea. So since most of the consumer cooperatives were born in 1970s and 1980s, because due to the environmental problems such as the harmful effect of chemicals used for farming, so consumers wanted to establish the cooperatives to protect their families and have more eco-friendly and organic food, and to protect the environment and even the producers from the chemicals used for the agriculture. So that's why we have a farmers cooperative in this Federation of the Consumer Cooperatives. So besides our 100 the member cooperatives, so we have a farmers co-op in the ICOP, so that farmers and consumers can cooperate with each other. So our brand name is Natural Dream, and we have 2 clusters. And then this is the system of the cooperation between producers and consumers to produce the safer food for consumers and to protect the environment and the farmings. So one of our initiatives is to protect the environment by eliminating the plastic in processing products and consuming process. So we rebranded our, updated our brand. And also we declared a new slogan called Healing People and Clean Planet last year. And one of the initiatives to realize that this slogan is to protect the environment by using less plastics. So last year, the members declared we will not use the plastic or reuse plastic or recycle plastic, so that we will promise all the products of Natural Dream we are producing to realize 100% plastic recycled. And the businesses and production should follow this the slogan and the initiatives. So at first, as the business side, we declared that we will reduce plastics and replace plastic and also recycle plastic. So we reduce the plastic in the packages of the plastic, and also we replace plastic with the paper one. For example, we stop selling the plastic bottled water and replaced it with the paper cartons water, and also all the plastic trays that were replaced with the papers. Also, we set up small factories called Thank You Earth, so that all the plastic used for in the process of the production will be reprocessed with other products, the plastic products. This is recycling the process. So, for example, we collect the packages and the other plastic vinyls and those kind of the packages, and then we reproduce with, for example, plant the small plastic bowls and such like that, so that more members can use recycle the plastics. The other one is the this is the side of the activities. So retired the chairpersons and directors who are consumer members of ICOP, they established their own civil society in the ICOP called the Consumers for Climate Action. So this is a non-profit organization established by the consumer members last year. So its mission is to create a sustainable society through consumer movement in which consumers directly participate and act and make a voice to change the world. And now the Consumers for Climate Action has 3,500 individual members and about 100 corporate members. So they support these nonprofit organizations so that the consumers can engage in the environmental activities. So I'd like to introduce several activities they've conducted so far. Before that, this is their main activities. So, for example, they organize the activities to raise about awareness about resource recycling and plastic. And also they provide education program not only for members, but also for local government and schools and companies. So they organize and they plan the programs for them. So they train the campaigners who are members of ICOP, so that these campaigners can provide education for local government and schools and companies. And also they planned campaigns for carbon neutrality in daily life by raising awareness to the public through media. And also they strongly call for policies to governments So there, the scope of the programs and activities are quite wide, but the main goal is to make a better society, especially in terms of the environment. So this is one of their signature the activity. So this is a Not Plastic Promise campaign. So the plastic bottled water is consumed mostly in Korean society, and we can notice and we can witness many people buy the plastic bottled water at supermarket and convenience store, and we can use daily life. So this organization sold plastic bottle is one of the products that we can reduce easily, and because we consume a lot in daily life. So the member cooperatives, ICOOP, about 100 member cooperatives, and this Consumers for Climate Actions, they organize the activities nationwide, so that many people declare they will not use plastic anymore, especially plastic bottled water. So in January 2022, about 300,000 people participated in the pledge. So they decided to not use the plastic bottle. This, for example, they will use the paper carton water, or they will bring their water, so they pledged. So this is the effect we realized. So we eliminated about 50 million plastic water bottles through this pledge. And then this is impact of environment we calculated. So with these campaigns, the member cooperatives and this MPO, they organized green working campaigns. So this is called plugging. This is a Swedish word, the combination of jogging and picking litter. So with the member cooperatives and consumers and other the non-organization and civil society in Korea, so they conducted campaigns together. So through for example, they organized the family events, and they are promoted through social media, so that many people come out to the park or other the public spaces, and they exercise together and pick up litter. So this is quite the combination of the working out and picking litter. So it is good for your health, also for good for environment. So these are the picture of the plugging. So the member cooperatives organize this activity as a family events. So every Sunday or on a, for example, they opened held the events for the member cooperatives and the members and families. So they gathered, and this is a kind of picnic. They enjoyed the working together and picking up litter together, and take photos together. So they can participate in the saving the planet and protecting the environment with combined with the family event. The other one is that because we need the ICOOP needed to have a bigger impact on this environment, the protection activities. So the ICOOP collaborated with lots of the companies and social organizations and the other cooperatives. One of them is Lush. So it's an international the cosmetic company. So with Lush, we co-organized the events called Go Naked and No Plastic campaign. So on Earth Day, I think this year, and the ICOP and the Consumers Climate Action and Lush, the launch the Go Naked and No Plastic campaign. So actually the Lush had annual event called Go Naked, the campaign to reduce product packaging. So this is quite a similar activity with ICOP. So they decided to conduct event together so that have more impact on the society. So about 100 people gathered, and then they promoted this event together. And also there is the online event so that people can come out and participate in the plugging events more often together. So the Lush and the ICOP, the co-developed the package for these people. So we provided the organic or less environmentally impacted products for these participants. So this is quite the big national events. So many people that participated in this event. So because we declared not to use the plastic bottles, so the businesses should follow this activity. So the ICOP developed the water carton, the water, so that people can consume this water carton water as alternatives. And then this is one of the big initiatives that we like to pursue in the future, so that this packages quite the water packages in quite eco-friendly way. So so we need the cooperation with the local government, because this water carton can be recycled to the other products. So the society and local government to set up the foundations so that members and consumers can they bring their used water carton. So we made agreement with local governments to set up this circulation system, so that members and consumers bring their used water cartons so that we can recycle them more. And so this is the realization of the resource circulation system. So this is the last part that I like to skip this one due to the time limit. And yeah, this is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Juhi Lee. And the experiences of ICOP in protecting the environment are definitely the very important experiences, and I'm sure the audience has benefited a lot from the activities that ICOP and also you have been doing in the cooperative movement, and that is definitely an essential part for the youth audience as the current and future generation of the cooperatives, and also consumer cooperatives as one of the most important divisions of the cooperatives, as they are playing an important role in the consumption of the societies. And by this time, we will be benefiting from the information that the consumer cooperatives in ICOP have been doing. So we will have about 10 minutes of break. And this is not a break to have like go and come back. We can take the advantage of this breaking time just to get to know more about each other. If you want to have any conversation, like an informal conversation, you can have. And we can also use it as as a platform where people with more experiences of the GGC, the Go Green campaign, can definitely bring to all of the audience. So actually, I was actually looking for some people who have been involved in the Go Green campaign for the last few years. If they have any experience or if they have any memory, we would be very happy to hear about them. And then after the break, we will have the most important part, which are connecting the forestry committee and the Ankasa cooperative organization. So they will also bring us some ideas of how we can be successful in protecting our environment. So thank you, the speakers so far. So officially, the meeting will go on after 10 minutes. But before that, if everyone has any idea to share, we would be very happy to hear that.
Mr. Ali. Mr. Ali.
Yes, yes.
Can I ask you one question? Did you contest any post in the ICA in Spain? No.
I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
Yeah. Did you contest any post in the during ICA in the Spain? No.
No.
No. So, but congratulations for Iran who
Thank you.
won
Thank you.
one of the
And
ICA
also to
board.
Malaysia. And also to Malaysia.
Yeah, sure.
So we will come back in about 10 minutes. Huh?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Jo Hee Lee, for your wonderful presentation. And I think it will be very nice if we can do the picking up litter together as a Go Green campaign in some country. So yeah, so we can collaborate together and increase awareness of how important we do the environmental friendly activities. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Asanari? Oh, sorry, I could not share your YouTube video. So, do you want to share it at the end of this webinar, or?
If there is another idea, you can just play the video as we are in the break without any sound, so everyone in the time could view it. Or if they want furthermore, then we could have a certain amount of time left. We could play it in the end as well. So now and the end would be good.
Oh, I see. So maybe I can share it now, so they can see it during the break.
Okay, thank you so much. Just for the viewers, this is just a general video that we have done in the past, the Go Green campaign and what were the activities. So enjoy the break as well as just a few clips of the videos from the past, present, and maybe in the future, if Mr. Ali would allow it.
Oh, can you see this?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. So we have the link for this YouTube on the chat, right?
Yes, I just shared the YouTube videos playlist for everyone if they wish to have concrete evidence of what kind of a work was performed in the Go Green campaign.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Sonali, you did not choose the perfect background. It is just opposite your campaign.
I chose this particular background just to show where we are at the particular moment and how much speed that we need to increase for making the globe a much more greener and better place.
But situation is not so grim
We are
as
getting
it is depicted.
steps are taken. That I must say. Thank you for pointing that out.
Is it Pakistan?
I'm sorry,
Background? Is it Pakistan?
No, it's not. It's I think the Grand Canyon or similar places from you.
This is in America, Grand Canyon.
Desert or some?
It's a desert.
In Sri Lanka, 20 million people are doing nowadays agriculture sectors because of the economic crisis.
Hey, is that Mujahid?
Yes.
Oh, it's nice to hear from you.
Yes, our secretary also there, Mr. Sunil Silva. Happy to hear after a long time.
I am unable to find him.
Sunil Silva. Yeah.
Okay,
Mr. Hassan, Mr.
Yes.
Hassan, what is your focus now? Since you not engaged too much in the ICAEP, so what are you doing now? According to the cooperative?
I'm just trying to establish my own presence, taking one step back and planning to move 3 steps forward, somewhere in between that time. And how was the conference? Nobody told me about the conference in Spain. I think most of the people from the ICA went there, but I do not have the complete details. I just have a little bit of information from this part, this part, and this part through the newsletters and other things. So, what was the experience in Spain, Dr. Hassan?
No, I didn't go to Spain.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so
I didn't go to Spain.
Ali was there, right?
Ali went to Spain.
Ali, maybe Ali Reza.
Share your experience.
The hot short man of the ICOIC.
Yes, I was present in the General Assembly in Seville, Spain, and that was, as you know, it was mainly one General Assembly. It was not in accompanying with other cooperative events. There was just one panel discussion, which was organized by COSETA, the worker cooperative in Spain, and that was like a half-day event. And then the main event was the General Assembly, where we had this election for the president of the ICA and also the board members for the ICA. So that was mainly the idea. So we had this electronic voting system, which didn't work out, not surprisingly. And actually, we were getting used to this electronic way of election since 2017 and then 2020 in Korea, but this time it didn't work out. So everyone had to put this paper ballot again after a long time, and that was actually a very, very difficult thing to follow with the election matters. But that was it. That was mainly this idea.
Hello, CCS Myanmar. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Tanager.
How are you?
Yes, very well. I'm on John Bo.
Your office is working, it is functional fully?
Sorry?
Your office is working?
Yes, I'm still working in CCS.
But your office still, it is open or it is closed? You are
Yeah.
working from office or work from home?
Yes, working, not work from home. Yes, we are in the office work.
I see.
Can I start my presentation?
I see. Where is Momo? Momo is coming?
No, she has resigned. Yeah, to.
She has resigned.
Yes.
I
But
see.
she's still working in the cooperative measures.
She has gone to another cooperative?
No, to NGO.
I see. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Eliza, maybe we can start now.
Okay. Thank you, Sri. So we are back. I hope everyone was able to get in touch with their networking partner. And now that we have had some time to refresh our minds, and we are ready to listen to the three main speakers from India, Vietnam, and Malaysia. We will be listening to their speech. The first speaker is Mr. S.P. Singh, who is the managing director of the Unique Cooperative, which is the Indian Farm Forestry Development Cooperative, or in short, we call it IFFDC. IFFDC is promoted by the world's largest fertilizer cooperative, Indian Farmer Fertilizer Cooperative Limited, which is called as IFCO, to develop wastelands through afforestation, watershed, and socioeconomic development of the country's rural poor communities. IFFDC is working in the areas of forestry development and climate change mitigation, watershed development and climate change resilience development, nutritional and economic security for tribal community, rural livelihood enhancement, women empowerment, community institution, implementation of corporate social responsibility, initiatives of other organizations, and capacity building since the last 28 years. Mr. Singh has wonderful, rich experience in activities to protect the environment, and he has done a wonderful job to go on with these activities, and we will be definitely using a lot of the information that he is going to offer. So, Mr. Singh, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Ali Raza, Mr. Shri, Mr. Taneja, Ms. Isumi, and participants from ICYC, Consumer Committee, Forestry Committee. Earlier, in the earlier webinar, I talked about the forestry work which was done by my organization IFFDC. This time I am going to talk about climate change resilience, how to build up resilience. So that's covering the area of watershed management and soil water conservation. So I'll start my presentation now. I just have to share the screen. Is it visible? Just let me check. Share screen. Okay, let's share. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Already Mr. Ali Raza has talked about my organization, so I will skip that. What is a watershed? Basically, it's a geographical area having different heights, some area on a higher plane, some on a lower level. And when it rains, the water flows from different parts and comes down and forms 2-3 streams, and from there the water goes and joins in a river. So basically, watershed, it is a hydrological unit where from the surplus runoff drains to the common point, and it has no geographical limits. It can pass through number of villages, in between the villages, through a city. So watershed, just a sec, pointer. Okay. And what is the integrated watershed management? Basically, it is working in the area, 5 areas. In Hindi, we call it 5J. Jal, that is water. Jungle, that is forest. Jameen, which means land. Janwar, which means animal. And Jan, that is the community. So integrated watershed management is involving all these five aspects, all this. So it tries to bring about the best possible balance in the environment between the natural resources on the one side and human and other living beings on the other. So here you can see, this is the area which is at the height, at the periphery. You can say this is from a height, and the area, this is between the valley area. So the small streamlets joining to form big streams, and then it becomes a bigger stream, and ultimately joining some or the other river, which may be seasonal river or a regular river. And this is the point A, where we try to build a check dam to store the water. So in the beginning, in the 60s, all the work which was done on the watershed, it was a charity approach. So there was no community involvement. Then in the 80s, it was a top-down approach, basically government taking up doing the watershed projects and no involvement of the community again. And all the implementation, everything was done by the government. Then the 90s, the participatory approach started, where the physical work and the socio-economic aspects, they were taken care of. Here the community started planning the watershed. Then from 2000 onwards, we have the livelihood approach has been added. So the livelihood is related to farm and non-farm activities both, and the watershed development, which is concerning the making of the structures, water resource development structures. So this is basically, we are talking about climate resilience. And from 2020 onwards, we have added another component, which is climate proofing. So in the climate proofing, again, we percolate the entire awareness down to the community, how to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases, and also utilizing, going for the agriculture where they are more resilient to the drought, adopting or utilizing such variety of seeds which take less water or which are drought resistant and things like that. So we have 4 types of watershed. One is the sub-watershed, which is covering area of 10,000 to 50,000 hectares. Second is multi-watershed covering area from 1,000 to 10,000 hectares. Third is micro-watershed covering area of 100 to 1,000 hectares. And then mini watershed covering from 1 hectare to 100 hectares. IFDC is working in these two areas of 100 to 1,000 hectare area and mini watershed. Okay. In India, we had a green revolution during the decade from 1967 to 1977. That time the focus was on increasing the agriculture productivity. Thereafter, now this water resource development program started, watershed development program started, where the focus was not only to augment the production and productivity, but also to minimize the ecological degradation, thereby opening up the employment opportunities for dry land areas. And as you know, in India, we have a very big area which is rain-fed area. And with such a huge population in India, it is necessary that for raising the agriculture crops, we need to do a lot of agriculture from the rain-fed areas. And that is where the watershed development comes into picture. And watershed management is an integrated approach, as we covered earlier, covering the 5 aspects. Okay, the need for watershed development. So it is aiming to reduce the poverty and improve the standard of living of the people, and aim at improving the environment where we live in. And watershed is providing a natural environmental unit for planning a developmental initiative. So we are working in this following areas in watershed. First of all, we work upon utilizing the land according to its capability. Then we treat the land, treating from ridge to the valley. That is the highest point, the mountain point to the valley point. We do the soil treatment from starting from the highest point to the lowest valley. We come down and do the land treatment. Then we do the conservation of maximum rainwater at the place where it is falling. The focus is wherever the water falls, that it should not run further down below. So we try to retain as much water wherever it falls, it remains there, or it percolates down below in the water, in the ground. Then we put adequate vegetative cover on the soil to control the soil erosion. So we grow grass or shrubs and trees to stop the soil erosion. Then we drain out the excess water is there, but we also take care that when the excess water is being drained out, the velocity of the water which comes down from the height down to the valley, it comes at a very slow speed, so that there is no loss of the fertile land which is there on the top, at the height. At the same time, when it is coming down, it keeps getting seeped in the underground water, in the underground. So we try to reduce the velocity of the flow of the water. And then the water which comes at the end in the valley, that we store in the ponds or tanks for future use. So we are maximizing per unit area of the water. Okay, so IFDC approach in doing the work, this watershed programs. First of all, we go for the participatory approach. So we involve the villagers, and for that we do the institution building of making a village watershed committee or a village development watershed development committee. Then what we do is we implement the entire watershed project through community. So in the process, what we are doing is we are training the paraprofessionals. So they are given the name of Jankar. Jankar is one who knows everything about watershed. So we pick up young and dynamic people from the local area, local community. We train them on the various aspects of the watershed. And he is a very important link between IFFDC and the community. And also, once our project is over, then Jankar plays a very pivotal role in the continuity of harvesting the benefits of the watershed project. And the main focus is that the responsibility for the watershed is shared with the community. They themselves take up the ownership of the watershed project. And that is where the success of the project lies. Then we do the capacity building of the stakeholders. So the role of IODC is overall facilitation, then coordination and supervising the whole program. And the main program on the development of common property resources. So we try to do maximum work which is on the common property like panchayat land, which is a democratically elected local government. So maximum area is done on that, or other common property resources. So then we also do linkage with the other line departments. Other line departments such as agriculture department, state agriculture department, or animal husbandry department, or local banks, or district level different kind of organizations. So in this watershed, we are promoting the livelihood option for the landless and the women through land-based and non-farm-based activities. And once a project is successful in a place, then we replicate in the adjoining areas. And then also we have a withdrawal strategy, so that once we leave, people who are there, the community, they continue to get the benefits of all the resources which have been utilized, the money which has been utilized, the time spent there, so that typically a watershed program, development program will have 20 to 25 years of benefit for the community which is there, residing there. So the components of watershed, we do soil and water conservation measures, then water harvesting and water resource development. That is, water resource development is structures which we make like ponds and check dams or wells and so on. Then alternate land use, such as going for forestation, then development of the pasture land for the cattle. Then we go for the livelihood generation with the help of forming self-help groups, and also the institution building like Village Watershed Development Committee. And then we do the capacity building of the community. Here is what a watershed looks like. You see, there are certain areas which are a height, and this is at the valley area, where surrounding all like this area, the water flows from different sides and into the valley. So it is a ridge to valley concept. So here we then grow some mini forest. Then here we go for some fuel wood plantation. Then we go for some fruit or groundnut or such plantation here. Thereafter we go for upland rice plantation. Here we are doing the maize plantation where less water is available. Where more water gets accumulated, we go for the upland rice plantation. Then again, similar different kind of crops being grown. And here Again, here we have some fruit plantation here, then kitchen garden, livestock here, pasture land developed on this side. So plantation, forestry, fruit, grass, crop, animal husbandry, so many things are taken care of in an area of about 1,000 hectares of a land. Here you can see this is again actual what work we have done in Madhya Pradesh in central India. So different structures being made out. And later on in the forestry also this same approach we had taken, and then the forest was grown. Up till now, so we are working in the area of climate action, SDG 13 and then SDG 15, life on land. So up till now, Ifdc has constructed about 272 check dams, about 1100 ponds, and around 1300 wells have been dug out. And in mountainous areas, about 300 plus LDP tanks are being constructed. This is a check dam which was constructed in Maharashtra area in Western India. And you can see this was earlier seasonal river. And then after the construction of the check dam, the water gets accumulated till the area of about 3 kilometers behind this. So just the length of 51 meters, height of 2.1 meters, and we are able to irrigate about 280 hectares of land. And this is in a Chandrapur area, which is a very dry kind of land and mostly drought prone area, you see. And farmers committing a lot of suicide because their crops failing, because a lot of times rains not happening and all such things. So this is covering about 7 to 8 villages around. So when the monsoon comes, so entire area gets flooded, and then the excess runoff water that flows out, and about for an area of about 3 kilometers, it remains flooded. As a result of this, the surrounding area, the water table also is going up. So the water is very easily available from their wells, and if their ponds, that also get filled up automatically. This is another Rajasthan, western area, western region. Again, very, very dry area, dry land. You can see before we constructed, this is how it is. And when there is no rainy season, this is how the area looks like. But once the rain is there, then this entire area gets flooded and the water gets stored. Otherwise, this surface water runs off and it is not being utilized by the local community. These are some of the other check dam, different kind of check dam. This is stop dam where the wall is made, and it is a permanent structure. In here we have a gated structure. We make number of gates, and then when the rainy season is there, we lift up the gates and the water flows freely. And once the rainy season is about to end, that time we will start putting the gates, and it becomes a wall, and the area behind this area all gets flooded, and lot of water gets stored which is available to the farmers for 3-4 months for irrigating the fields. Then this is another kind of structures we are using. In Uttarakhand, in northern Himalayas areas, Uttarakhand area, this more than 300 this kind of tanks were made. You see, during rainy season, a lot of water comes. So we fill up these tanks, and then when the rain is not there, then we utilize these tanks to irrigate the fields. So they are very small fields. So we are harvesting and channelizing water streams in the hilly area for irrigating the crops. Now, what are the different structures which we are making for harvesting the water? So this kind of trenches we make for absorbing the water so that it slowly percolates in the ground below. Similarly, when there is a say seasonal river or a seasonal small streams or nalas, there we dig out this kind of small ponds, and during when it rains they get filled up, and then again it helps, it remains for 2-3 months, they filled up, and then slowly also it percolates down in the ground. Then this is a small earthen check dam we have made. Other here you can see using the bags, we fill up this bag with sand or soil, and then we plug this area from where the water is flowing, and we get a lot of area which stores up the water. This is again used for irrigating the fields. So here you get a bigger picture. We were talking about ridge to valley concept. This is the ridge, and then this side is the valley part. So here what we do is we make these structures called continuous contour trench. So here it is a very long, you can see this long trenches, continuous trench. You can see this like up to this. Similarly, this trench is going like this continuous. So this is at the same level, same height. So the civil engineer will do the surveying, and then they will dig out this trenches. So that once the water flows to this level, till this entire trench gets filled up in such a long area, the water will not flow down. And only when this entire area, this entire trench gets filled up, which may be very long in area, for 400-500 meters long. Okay, only when that entire trench is filled up. Here you can see the depth of the trench here. Okay, until that is completely filled, then only it can go to from here to here down below. Then again this trench fills up fully, again 500 meters, then again water will flow down from there. In this again, this third trench, and so on it goes like that. So every stage we are stopping the flow of the water which is flowing. Otherwise, rapidly it will flow down, which will again take away the fertile land. Okay, and once it remains in the trench, again slowly it seeps in the underground water. So at so many different levels, so many different trenches, the water table goes down and down in the underground water. So in the 1,000 hectare area of a land, it goes like that. It keeps on percolating and percolating. So it helps in controlling the water from flooding downstream farm areas, which help in saving the water and channelizing it in the right direction. So up till now, we have covered about 17,000 hectares of land through the soil water conservation. Okay, this is a staggered contour trench. There we saw continuous trench. Here we have one trench here, one trench here. Then another trench will be in between the two, down below. Okay, then after this, there another trench which is slightly different, separately from that, not just underneath that. Underneath is vacant. Okay, another trench is at some distance. So when the water flows, it gets trapped in different trenches, small trenches. It doesn't go freely, it doesn't flow freely. It gets stopped everywhere, it gets filled up in the trenches. Okay. So this is helping in controlling the water from flooding downstream and allow the water to percolate in the underground. So these are the stone and farm bunds. So with simple stones, again we are making the bunds, okay? And again, this is the, so this will slow down the water runoff, allow the water to seep into the soil and spread more evenly over the land. It helps in building the layer of fine soil and minute particles which are rich with nutrients. Then again, these are two different structures, loose stone check dams. So this is the stones are just put one on top of one another, and it is stopping the water from flowing freely. Little bit water goes on, but slowly the soil which comes, it blocks it completely. And this one is a gabion structure, where again the stones are being put, but again their wire mesh is being utilized. Steel wires are being utilized to hold them together. So this again stops the flow of the storm water. It allows water infiltration to the groundwater and helping in the soil erosion. And below the area behind it, again, lot of water gets stored. These are the gully plugs. From the height, the water is coming from here like this, okay? So again, we stop the flow, the speed of the flow of the water through this kind of gully plugs. These are the different gullies, okay? So this also keeps the soil moisture due to the infiltration. Then we have this village watershed committee meetings. Okay, so they are involved, there's a participatory planning, implementation, monitoring, and sustainable management of the watershed development. Livelihood generation, we are teaching them, first of all, like tailoring. Here you can see tailoring, then poultry, goat rearing. Here you can see goat rearing, and vermicompost making. Then azolla cultivation. Azolla cultivation is for grass for the cattle, and then fruit plantation. So a number of activities are there, and we also form number of self-help groups for different activities. For tailoring, we will form number of self-help groups. For goatry, again number of groups. Like that we do. This is my last slide. Okay. Okay. The impact of watershed development, it is helping in increasing the water table of this area where this is carried out in 1000 hectare of land. Secondly, it is helping in additional area for irrigating the land of the farmers. Up till now, 15,000 hectare area, additional area has been made available to the farmers in the dry land areas where no water resources were there, regular. And as a result of this, there is a reduction in the soil erosion to the tune of 68,000 tons per year. Then the farmer is able to go for crop diversification, and also his increased crop area is there. Cropping intensity has increased. Earlier he was doing only monsoon based or rainfall based cultivation of the crops. Now during Rabi also he is able to grow crops. So a lot of crop diversification, and then he is able to grow cash crops, vegetables, fruits, etc. Also, it has resulted in increase of fodder availability for the cattle, resulting in increased milk production. Then tree cover in the watershed area has also increased. Then there is a significant reduction in the migration from these areas. And also it is helping in the Government of India objective of more crop from each drop and doubling farmers' income. Thank you for everybody for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Singh. You presented a lot of important material, and I'm sure the audience are heavily receiving a lot of different information, and that shows how IFFDC is very committed to protect the environment and the rural areas that you are based and located. And I'm sure in the coming months, members from the ICYC Forestry Committee, Consumer Committee, and also members from ANCASA will definitely be in touch with you to get more information about the experiences that you and your organization have been doing in this regard. And that was fantastic. I really enjoyed the information that you provided. And by this, I would like to go to the next speaker.
Also, before you go to the next speaker, I have a request to make. I would request our participants also to join our forestry and agriculture community, which has been combined now. So if people who are interested, I invite them, and also your friends or other cooperatives from your country. If they join us, it will be good.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. It was very good. So we go to the next speaker. The next speaker is coming from the country Vietnam, and I have only one experience of traveling to Vietnam, and I have enjoyed a lot with the experiences coming from Vietnam, and they are doing a great job. And I'm sure the next speaker, who is Mr. Pham Trung Kien, please excuse me if I'm pronouncing it a little bit maybe mistakenly, but he's going to be the next speaker, and he is the leader of FMCG retailer in Vietnam, in Saigon Union of Trading Cooperatives, as we call it, Saigon Co-op. In 2000, Mr. Pham Trung Kien, with an architect background, holds more than 2 decades of experience in modern retail. As a Deputy General Director, Mr. Kien is in charge of all investment and development of Saigon Co-op. Besides that, he has been appointed as CEO of Saigon Co-op, Investment and Development Joint Stock Company, which is, in short, we call it SCID, a subsidiary that is dedicated to develop the retail infrastructure for Saigon Co-op and to operate all shopping centers. With positive attitude and tireless energy, Mr. Kien always supports and encourages colleagues and staff to complete tasks and contribute to the success of the company. By this introduction, we would like to ask Mr. Trung Kien to take the floor and to provide us with his experiences and information about protecting the environment. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ari Reza. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It is a very great occasion for myself and Saigon Co-op to be here and to learn from all of you, and also share our point of view, our experience activities regarding the Go Green topic today. As Mr. Ali Reza, just quick introduction about myself. Please have some time for myself to introduce about Saigon Co-op. As far as you understanding that Saigon Co-op is focused mainly in the retailing FMCG. So currently, Saigon Co-op is the largest retailer in Vietnam FMCG market. We take about really 40% shares. Sorry, Mr. Isby, can you help me to share the presentation?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will share your presentation.
Thank you. Okay.
Can you see this?
Yeah, can all of you see this presentation?
Yes,
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
able to see.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Please.
Let's go next slide. Maybe
Sorry.
I can share myself.
Oh, okay. So I will just
Sorry,
stop my sharing so you can try to share.
Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's well.
So,
but it's not the first page. Yeah, we can see your presentation, but it's not the first slide.
You have to go to beginning of the presentation.
It's okay now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Suncap established since 1989, so now more than 33 years. We got now 60,000 employees, and we got more than 800 physical stores throughout Vietnam, and more than 300,000 visitors per day. And we got many of retailing concept, and most famous is Copmark, which is more than 25 years establishment. Okay, just we have been in the list of top 200 retailers in Asia Pacific, and some most favorite Vietnamese brand. Yeah, so just quickly introduction about Suncap for you to understand our business. So beside the retailing business, in our principle, we mainly focus into social responsibility. And so Go Green, the topic today is also very important, and we take a very good care about that topic in our activities. So I can share with you today some of our important programs or campaigns to support the sustainable development for the quality of life in Vietnam and also in our business. So we took a lot of important programs so far during our operation, and one of important environment supporting is the Earth Hour. This is the program from I think it's from Sydney, starting from Sydney since 2007, and in Saigon Cup we starting the program since 2011. Yeah. So the content of the program is during the Earth Hour Day, we encourage all of our store to turn off the light within 60 minutes, and also encourage all of our staff house and also our customers to turn off the lighting 1 hour. So some of the conclusion is that since 2020 we reduced 2,700 kilowatt hour electricity, equal of reduction of 1.5 ton of carbon dioxide. 2021 we double the reductions, nearly 3 tons carbon dioxide, and we plan in this year we can reduce 4.5 ton of carbon dioxide. Yeah, by involving the Earth Hour. Yeah. The second important program in cycle activity is we provide the program Curb Organic Brands. So since 2017, we are the first retailer in Vietnam market to have the own brand, mainly focusing to organic products, and we try to develop the product line and not ensure the nutrition health, but also contribute to environment protection, improving agricultural land, protecting water sources, minimizing greenhouse effect, and try to create a fairness trade between the farmers, the consumers, and natural. So currently our Curb Organic Brands product are sold at 14 stores in Ho Chi Minh City. Ho Chi Minh City is the largest metropolitan of Vietnam, and as you should know, the Curb Organic or the organic products, although it's very good for the health and the environment, but because of the nature of the product, so currently we cannot spread as far as we expectation because of the pricing, the awareness of the customer. So we have to step by step to develop this program. And as you should know, in Europe, they starting again the organic program since 1980, but from now the organic product is just take about 10% or somewhere is more than 20% of retail sales. The next important program is Rooftop solar power. As you understanding that in the physical store, we consume a lot of energy, mainly in the HVAC, the air conditioner. So it's take a lot of energy to consume. So we try to reduce the energy consumption by using the solution of the solar power. And we starting since 2020. Now we got 31 store that got the rooftop solar power. As you can see the picture that show that the total capacity of all of our store it take about 1,500 kilowatt per year, and meaning that the total electricity consumption is 2,000 megawatt per year. So when we starting the program of solar power, we reduced 2,700 ton of carbon dioxide, 2.5 ton of nitro dioxide, and so on and so forth, equal of the greenhouse gas of 597 cars per year, or 15,000 computer using per year. So this year we plan to continue to assemble for more than 40 stores again. The next program is we try to use 100% of biodegradable plastic bags, and we're starting the program since 2011. You can see here it's 12, but actually it's 11. So we spread all of our store, and we decrease a lot of plastic bags using in the market. Another way to reduce the use of the plastic is we recommend our customer to using environment-friendly bags and reusable bags. As you can see here, very attractive and very useful. Even they can store the products that need the keeping in the low environment, like meat or on the kind of delivery meat. So we encourage the customer to use environment bags instead of plastic bags. In 2020, we sold more than 400,000 environmental bags, and for first 6 months of 21, we sold almost double. Another kind of using the reusable or the environment-friendly packaging is we provide the packaging products with lotus leaves or banana leaves in our store, as you can see here. And we got the letter of our Prime Minister to give us the pricing for this initiation. So we're starting this initiative from 2019, and we use banana leaves or lotus leaf to wrapping some kind of products like fresh food. And we're starting to encourage and to stop selling plastic straw, because as we understanding the plastic straw cause a lot of problems for environment, especially when they throw and go to the ocean, and take a lot of problem to the environment. And we starting and be the first retailer in Vietnam to stop selling plastic straw in the FMCG markets in May of 2019. For the recycling activities, we cooperate with the Pro Vietnam. Is the coalition of leading FDI and Vietnamese company to form the organization. That's mean the packaging recycling organization of Vietnam since 2019. Currently, we got 19 members, and we take some special common responsible, like make Vietnam green, clean, and beautiful by promoting the circular economy model through more accessible and sustainable packaging collection and recycling process. To do some festival for the recycling activity. For example, you can see here the event Milk Carton Recycling Day held in 2020 by Saigon and Nestle Vietnam. And we collect 14,000 milk carton within 1 month to be recycled. Another important is waste sorting. As we understand in the appropriate way to process the waste is very important. So that's why we encourage the customer to sorting the waste appropriately, and issue the regulation on waste sorting during daily operation within our store, and our partners to collect and process waste appropriately. We provide this program within Ho Chi Minh City and now spread out since 2021. So this is some of our important programs that we provide for internal business, as well as encourage our customer to follow, to support, to engage with us, to protect the environment. As we understanding that the Vietnam is one of the very dangerous suffering country caused by the climate change. So we understand, and when we strongly commit to follow and support all of the Go Green, all of the environment friendly, environment supporting and protecting campaign to protect not only for our business but also our environment. That is my presentation, and thank you very much for your listening. Willing to hear your comment and willing to answer all the questions from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The information was great. The activities that you at the organization you are doing is just doing a wonderful job, and I'm sure the benefits will be taken for the audience, especially in the youth committee members. They will definitely benefit from this information, and I'm sure the members from Vietnam Cooperative are also very happy to have this Saigon Co-op and the activities that Saigon Co-op is doing. Without further ado, because we are very back on time, we will be going on with the last but not least speaker, Mr. Dr. Modazlan Yahya from Malaysia. And I've known him for a long time, and he has always been very supportive and very engaged in the cooperative movement, and I personally have always used the advices that he's bringing to the cooperative movement. He's now currently the vice president of the National Cooperative Movement of Malaysia. National Cooperative Movement in Malaysia, everyone knows them by the name of ANCASA. So he also serves as the chairperson of the ICAP Committee on Cooperatives in Educational Institutions. He has held various leadership positions in the fields of business management, cooperatives, and entrepreneurship. So by this very short and quick introduction, I would like to ask Dr. Aslan to take the floor and to tell us how the activities of ANCASA is going to give benefit to this Go Green campaign for.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ali Reza, my friends. So actually, I would like to congratulate to Mr. Ali Reza and the team for organizing this wonderful webinar to share about the Go Green. And so I also want to congratulate the ICYC for initiating this Go Green campaign, especially Mr. Hassan, who created this idea for this program when he was chairperson of the youth committee at Asia Pacific. So I try to share the screen. Okay. Okay. Oh. No. Can you no, this is okay. Let me share the screen. Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So today I would like to share with you. I try to make it short as possible. So about the SDG 13, the climate action and what Angkasa did, especially how to connect the youth with this Go Green program. So actually in Malaysia, so the issue of climate change, maybe the main reason is from the forest degradation and deforestation. So there are 4 reasons. First is industrial logging, because the timber industry is quite important to the economy of Malaysia. It's about 4% of the timber industry contribute to our GDP. And the large scale commercial plantation, as you know, Malaysia is the second largest the oil palm palm oil in the world. And road or highway construction across the forest, and the large dams to generate the electricity power. So during since 2001 to 2021, about 20 years time, so Malaysia lost 8.67 million hectare of the tree cover, accounting 29% of the tree cover in Malaysia. So government has take initiative or policy which is called Greening Malaysia. In January 2021, the Prime Minister launched the Greening Malaysia with a program planting 100 million trees planting campaign. And this program is organized by Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources. So, so we can see until now, after 1 year plus, so we have planted 17 million, more than 17 million trees. And the total area is 33,000 hectare. And the remaining campaign is about another 4 years. 4 years. So So we as a cooperative, the only the apex cooperative in Malaysia. So we also join this campaign in relation with the to support the Go Green campaign by ICA. So this okay. I skip this one. Okay. So we in this manner we call it is Angkasa CSR Co-op Care 1 million trees program. So this is the collaboration between Angkasa and the Institute of Climate Change of National University of Malaysia. So we target 3 years, not 2 years, actually 3 years from this year until 2024. So we target to plant 1 million trees, and the board of directors have allocated almost 1 million ringgit, Malaysian ringgit, to start this campaign. So the objective of this campaign is the program is to implement community engagement. We want to make the community more engaged to increase the awareness about the environmental and the climate change by planting the trees, and to support the conservation of degraded forest through rehabilitation of 20 acres of forest reserve, which will be used as the site of Adopt a Tree campaign. The Department of Forestry have awarded to Angkasa the 20 acres area to be adopted forest for Angkasa for learning. For learning purposes. Okay, and number 3 is to support the government's efforts in preserving the environment, which aim to increase at least 20% of forest area in Malaysia within 10 years. So increase knowledge and cultivate environmental awareness to students and local communities through the publication of learning modules and train of trainers program. So as Mr. Hassan said earlier, the program is not only to plant the tree, but how we educate people. That is most important. So the activities, they are meant to 4 activities: education and awareness module for school cooperative. This is Mr. Ali Reza. How we connect the youth to this program. So we are using the school cooperative is our main target, and currently we have 2,463 school cooperative throughout Malaysia with the members 1.9 million students. So all the students, we can educate them the importance. And the second is plant 1 million trees to celebrate the Malaysian cooperative movement, and adopt a tree campaign and a community engagement through tree planting program. So not only the school, but the community, like most cooperative, how we we encourage them to plant tree in the area, mosque area, home area, and so on. So this is the the milestone of this program since we launched in 2021. MOU with Yayasan Hijau, Green Foundation of Malaysia, development of module preparation, and so on. So program output, so hopefully end of 2024, we can achieve our target to plant 1 million trees. And second, we have a collaborative and strategic collaboration, Angkasa and Climate Change Institute, not only for this module, but also to train the trainers for environmental concern, and as well as conducting the research according to the climate change and environmental, and how the cooperative can get involved. And the third is restoration 20 acres degraded forest. We will be monitored continuously by Angkasa, UKM, and Forestry Department. And number 4, actually, record the progress and growth of tree through measurement and report calculation. How much reduction in carbon dioxide, so emission to atmosphere. So as I said just now, we also in this program to do the research, And number 5 is impact assessment based on questionnaire to participants, students, as well as comprehensive feedback before and after the program. So, so the early target is 2024, but I'm sure the Angkasa will continue this program beyond 2024. So this is the pre-launch, the 1 million planting trees by the wife of Minister of Entrepreneurship and Cooperative in the adapted forest area on the 20 March 20 this year. So we can this is our president, Datuk Fatah. So all this is the area 20 acres awarded to this to Angkasa to as a base for this program. So we started plant the forest tree. So as I said just now, we targeting to involve to 2,460 now 63 school, and youth cooperative, mosque community cooperative, and university cooperative to participate in the program. So last month I went to a numbers of school to appointed a school for the East province as to start this program. So we will train the student through the modules, and we will give a seed, 3 seeds to the community, to the school to plant in the school area. And the third promotion of tree sponsorship to the public, locally and internationally. So 3 sponsors will be made available. So if our friends from various countries to join this program, so you can do a donation through this website. Okay. So way forward, partnering for sustainability. So I think that's all Mr. Reza from Malaysia. So this is the program how Angkasa is doing now to support the Go Green campaign and to achieve the SDG 13 climate action. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Aslan. I believe, well, we are 15 minutes exceeding the time limit that we already planned for it. But I'm seeing that all of the participants are still staying in this webinar, and it shows how beneficial the information that all the speakers are providing, especially Dr. Aslan, with the activities that Angkasa are doing for their own members and also for the youth members in Malaysia and also in other countries. So by now the speeches are over, but the webinar is not over, because we can see how beneficial the activities of different committees and organizations and institutions are doing to protect the environment. And that is very important, because when we are talking about SDG 13, so everyone talks about the goal itself, but here in this webinar, we understood that there are thousands of different ways to be able to protect the environment that we are living in, because there is only one world after all, one planet, and we need to be taking care of the planet, especially with the background that Dr. Aslan is using. We can see how this planet can be beautifully kept for the next generations to come. I'm very happy to inform you that with the registration that everyone has made for this webinar, you have been receiving the toolkit for the plantation that we are humbly requesting everyone to go for it. As in every previous years, we have been following this toolkit to plant trees and also make any kind of related activity to protect the environment on the week of the International Week of the Cooperatives. As you know, every year, the first Saturday of the month of July is celebrated as the International Day of Cooperatives. And in the GGC, in the Go Green campaign, we have always been active in planting trees and also activities that protect the environment in the week that we are celebrating the cooperatives globally. So starting from this Saturday to come, we are requesting everyone who is based in Asia Pacific and also in other regions to go for the activities required to protect the environment, to protect the planet that we are living in. This can be planting the trees. This can be any type of activity that you believe this can will help the environment that we are living in. So, but planting trees is our main goal, but we also want to let others know that we are doing this activity just to promote and create awareness to the societies that we are living in. That's why we are providing you with some social media toolkit so that you can create your own social media toolkit and send it to us so that we can also gather all the information from anywhere in the world to say that this campaign has been successful since 2018 and is now living 2022 and also in the coming years. So please use the social media toolkit. I believe Shri has some, I think Shri might be able to provide you some social media toolkit either at this webinar, or am I right, Shri?
Yeah, I'll quickly share my screen. And since we are talking about the toolkit, I'll also share the website information that we built. So are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the website that we built. And if you can see, we have social media toolkit here. And when you click on it, it will go to the Google Drive, which has the posters and banners for the GoGreen. And before that, let me show you the website. So we have basic information about what is ICYC, and then the theme for this year's Go Green campaign, and then about the Go Green campaign. Then the most important part we have is about the pledge. So here we need, I request all the participants who will be planting the tree in the first week of July can visit our website, and they can fill up their information, your name, email ID, country, and your pledge. Pledge in the sense like you can add in a way that, I take pledge to plant tree on my birthday each year. So that is the pledge that I'm going to take. So you can, fill up this form, and then it will be recorded. And the moment you use the social media toolkit, we'll be able to highlight that on our website and on our social media channels. I don't know what is happening. So this is the toolkit that we have. So this is the illustration image, which has our vice chairperson's image, Tulsi. And the moment you are done with your plantation of tree, and you can upload, you can use this frame on social media to upload, your photograph in it, and which says that you have planted your tree. And we'll promote it on our channel and also on the website. So this is the information you can have the access. And I will, after this webinar, I'll send out emails with the link and the speaker's presentation, so that you can also have access to the PPT files and also to the website. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sri. You have been doing a great job in preparing the toolkit so that everyone can use this. And I'm sure with the new profile pictures of our members and also the participants of this webinar, we will be having a very memorable week of July, the first week of July, which will be celebrating the International Day of Cooperatives and also protecting the environment. And that is this hard work is definitely appreciated to both the Secretary of Youth Committee and also the Secretary of the Consumer Committee, Mrs. Itsumi, who has been doing a great job in collecting all the information, gathering all the people around, and doing a wonderful job. And especially me personally, I was very busy with the General Assembly and all the activities before. So personally, I didn't have enough time to go for it. But the team at the ICYC and the team at the Consumer Cooperative Committee have been doing a great job. Shri, I think you have a comment?
Yes, before I forget, I would request Mr. Taneja to come on board, and who can speak about the new committee which was formed in ICAP.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Shri, and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Ashok Taneja. I'm working in ICA as Secretary of Forestry Committee and Agriculture Committee. Just a minute. This is to inform you that Regional Board of ICAP met on 21st April this year. One of the proposals which had two parts discussed was the Agriculture and Forestry Committee. The first part of the proposal was to rename the Forestry Committee to the Environment Committee. as was suggested at the regional consultation of sectoral committees. And the second part was to merge the Agriculture and Forestry Committee and rename it Agriculture and Environment Committee. Name to be firmed up, it is not final. After deliberation, the board decided to merge the Agriculture and Forestry Committees. This decision needs to be ratified by the Regional Assembly. To explain the decision of the Regional Board, our Regional Director, Mr. Balu Iyer, convened a meeting. The Vice Presidents of the Agriculture Committee and Forestry Committee attended the meeting. Each member attended the meeting. I will inform you the background of this decision also later. Each member can nominate 1 or 2 persons who are engaged in agriculture sector or its allied sectors like fisheries, livestock, dairy, poultry, etc., and forestry and environment sector in the new committee. I have already sent communication to all member organizations to nominate members in this new committee. And I have requested your organization also to nominate suitable persons who can contribute to the development of these sectors. For those who have already nominated members to the existing Agriculture and Forestry Committee respectively, please let us know whether you want to retain the existing members to the new committee or want to change them. We requested them to please send your nomination by 30th June. So I think you will act upon that. After the nominations to the new committee are received, a meeting will be convened of the new members to prepare a constitution of the new committee and plan activities. Existing office bearers of the 2 committees will oversee the new committee till a new set of office bearers are formally elected in the first meeting of the committee after ratification. I would like to inform you the background of this decision of the regional board. The ICAP Committee on Agriculture was established in 1967 to promote the development of sound and effective agricultural cooperation and to develop appropriate policies and programs to protect and promote the interest of farmers. The committee for several years has been carrying out activities, advocacy, and training programs. It was supported in the early years by the Swedish Cooperative Center and in the later years by All China Federation of Supply and Marketing Cooperatives, the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Organization, the Central Union of Agriculture Cooperative of Japan, and the National Agriculture Cooperative Federation of Korea. The committee has on paper 23 members from 11 countries. The ICAP Committee on Forestry was formed in 2012. Up until 2012, fishery and forestry cooperatives from the region were part of the ICAP Agriculture Committee. The Forestry Committee was formed in response to the global and environmental and climate change threat, more acutely felt in the Asia-Pacific region due to increasing instances of climate-related disasters, high deforestation, and low levels of per capita forest cover. The Agriculture Committee last had its elections in 2016 and met at the Regional Assembly in Iran in 2018. It has not been meeting or organizing activities in recent years. It did not meet at the 2021 Regional Assembly and has not held elections to office bearers. After the formation of the Forestry Committee in 2012 in Kobe, it has met only once in 2016 in New Delhi when it held its meeting and elections of office bearers. Since then, the committee has not met for 6 years and it has not held any events, though the Vice Chair has taken part in meeting organized for all committees in 2021. The committee currently has 12 members from 8 countries. While the Forestry Committee has its mandate to contribute to adaptation and mitigation of climate change, enhance the socio-economic status of people through collective action in sustainable natural resource management and integrated rural development, it has not been able to carry out its mandate. The leadership of the committee has not been very functional. A reason for the Forestry Committee low response from members and could be the narrow name of the committee, Forestry. The Asia Pacific is adversely affected by weather and climate hazards, especially cyclone, drought, fires, floods, and typhoons have significant impacts in many countries of the region. These in turn affect agriculture and allied activities, and food security, contribute to increased displacement and vulnerability of migrants and displaced people, worsen health risks, and exacerbate environmental issues and losses of natural ecosystem. Loss of lives and destruction of infrastructure and ecosystem threatens sustainable development and increases environmental, food, health, and water insecurity. Members in the Asia Pacific region have been responding to climate change by raising resources, providing relief, addressing medium to term needs, training personnel, and putting into practice sustainable practices. The ICAP regional office has also been raising resources, organizing events to highlight the need to address climate change and carrying out trainings. Bringing together the Agriculture and Forestry Committee and renaming the committee to Agriculture and Environment will bring interest from a larger constituency, focus attention to critical issues affecting agriculture and allied activities, carried out activities to address concerns relating to the environment, and help bring more visibility to work being carried out by cooperatives. The members specifically interested in agriculture can nominate themselves to the International Cooperative Agriculture Organization, and those interested in fisheries to the International Cooperative Fishery Organization. So I would request that please nominate suitable person to this new committee. My request is to all member organizations, as requested by Mr. S.P. Singh also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tanijia. And I'm sure the new committee with the focus on environment and the forestry can do a great job in providing the platform for the cooperatives who are working in support of the planet that we are living in. So by this, I will reinforce again that the social media toolkit will be sent to you, to everyone, by email. Please don't forget to use the social media toolkit, and don't forget to send it back to us, because we need to compile all the information together and bring a united and a strong voice for the International Cooperative Alliance. And I'm sure the people at the ICA Global Office and also ICA Asia Pacific Office will be definitely using the social media information that everyone is providing to have a very loud voice that we at the ICAAP Asia Pacific, the Youth Committee, the Forestry Committee, the Consumer Committee, and also UNCASA, for the first time in history, they are united, coming together in a very united way to say that planet is important for all of us. We cannot ignore the importance of the planet, and with every hand, with every opportunity, with every occasion, we are trying to create this kind of awareness to our audience, to our members, to our partners, that the planet that we are living in is the only planet that we have. So Don't forget to send us the social media. And the last but not least, again, appreciating the hard work done by the Secretary of the Consumer Committee, Mrs. Itsumi Ishinuma from JCCU, and also Mr. Shri Padma Bahan from the India and from the Asia Pacific office. Thank you so much. And by this,
thank you, Mr. Alireza, for giving me such a great opportunity to host this webinar. It is a very wonderful opportunity for me. And before closing this webinar, can I take a group photo?
Yeah, please.
So we can we can share this photo on the SNS, so we can share our activities to many cooperatives. So if everybody can join with the group photo, please turn off your camera. And so, my friend Shuri will gonna take a photo. Okay, you are all ready? Yes, okay, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Yeah, is that okay? Do you want to take one more?
Okay.
Okay, it's good. Okay, thank you everybody for joining this webinar.
Thank you, Isumi.
Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I hope to meet you again.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
And thank you for all the speakers for wonderful presentation. We would like to use your knowledge and experiences for the future, the activities of our future. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, Mr. Trang Kianfan. Thank you for joining. I hope to see you again in the Consumer Committee meeting.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
day.
Yeah, have a good day. Okay, bye. So I will leave this.